Thanks so much. All right, turning to sports now. Charlotte FC playing its first ever match tomorrow night in Washington, D.C. It's an exciting time, and sports director Nick Carboni continuing our live coverage there tonight. So, Nick, this is super exciting. You told us, though, that fans, we need to be patient with this new team, right?
I know, that's what everybody wants to hear, right? But yeah, I think patience is probably needed. There's going to be a lot of energy and excitement to carry you through that first year of patience, hopefully. But just like any expansion franchise in any league, Charlotte just hasn't acquired the top-line talent that they would like to just yet, as in like the guys that score all the goals. But speaking of scoring goals, Taylor Twellman scored over 100 of them and was the one-time MLS MVP. He now works for ESPN talking Major League Soccer, and he talked to us and gave us his thoughts on Charlotte FC.
Taylor, as we enter opening weekend, just give me your first thoughts and impressions of Charlotte FC as they enter the MLS.
It's interesting, Bud, because I grew up, and so many of us grew up, whether it's my generation, even the generation younger than me, North Carolina, South Carolina, the Carolinas in general have been a hotbed of soccer. They always have been. And so as expansion started to ramp up, you started to look at it and say, well, hold on here. How does North Carolina not have a team? And so when Charlotte started to become a real part of the conversation, and quite honestly jumped so many other teams with having an owner like Tepper and company. So I'm excited to have them in. I'm excited for them to expand the growth of Major League Soccer. I know it's going to be a vibrant fan base with how great their fan bases are with the other sports in this country. I'm looking forward to it. To be blunt, I think this team may struggle.
What would be the key to this current team exceeding any expectations that are put on them from the outside?
If you're talking to me in the last 5 weeks of the season and they have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs, that is unequivocally an overachievement. Mm-hmm. And if they pull that off, good on them. Because that's really where this is. I think this league's more competitive. There's new owners in this league in 2022, which is going to only the low tide raises all ships. You see what I'm saying here? Like the Houstons and the RSLs and all these teams now bringing in new owners, Orlando, like now you throw in Charlotte, this thing's going to get competitive real quick. If you, in the last 5 weeks of the year, if you're calling me and there's a legitimate shot, I'm not saying a numerical shot because you and I both know some of those scenarios are insane, but if they have a shot at making the playoffs, they 100% overachieved.
Hey, I, for one, hope that we have to make that call to Taylor Twellman at the end of the MLS season. We will take playoffs in any sport right now in Charlotte, right? Not sure it's going to happen for Charlotte FC right away, but just exciting that they are finally starting tomorrow night here in Washington. You can see my entire conversation with Taylor Twellman on the WCNC Charlotte YouTube page. We'll send it back to you in studio.
We love it, Nick. Thanks so much. And we'll be right back.
Yeah.